your eyes and you tried to play me. Separation, folk, elevation. Knew my time was coming, nigga, I'm just steady waiting. They don't look.
What's up? Good evening, my peoples. Welcome, welcome, Poetry.Power.People. This is K. Reed. We're here for a second episode. We got a special guest right now. We're gonna entertain you a little bit with a good song, More Like by my boy Smooth. Let's get it.
More life, like Smooth, good life, we need more weapon. BDS need more flood. Couple real niggas, most wasn't. And from the bottom of the road, we had a vision, made a goal of it. See niggas hate it, but these hoes love it. They giving games since a cold young. We took the pain, learned to grow from it. Thinking damn, what a feeling. Know it's so appealing when you first kind of miss. Always in my head, like crown to the ceiling. On the list, you got the vision and you dry out with it. No matter how the game go, I'm playing my position. Game 6 clay mode, I'm shooting with persistence. When you draw the lines, they gon' hate you as a villain. You can't make them niggas mind. Gotta follow in a wishing dog. Down to my last. Couldn't get a bag when I was sleeping on the floor. Yeah, they was sleeping on me bad. Now a couple bad bitches creeping through the past. It cost to be a boss, little nigga. We pay tabs on it. Really, I'm him and y'all middlemen. All winners here, we ballin', y'all dribbling. Stars in the shit, tryna hop up in the race. Now I'm hoping to hop up in my face, getting place. Look, good life, we need more weapons. BBS need more flood. Couple real niggas, most wasn't. Came from the bottom of the rose from. We had a vision, made a goal of it. See niggas hate it, but these hoes love it. They giving games since a cold young. We took the pain, learned to grow from it.
I need more life, roll the dice. Take a chance, nigga. I need a mansion on the hill with the fam, nigga. Trying to get 100 mil. Let's put a plan together, money over pleasure. Grind until I get that land, nigga. Generation wealth, that's the plan, nigga. Grown ass man, ain't got no friends, nigga. I ain't playing with them, nigga.
Okay.
Man,
That's a long vibe to ride to. A little drop top, you know what I'm saying?
you know, real fly playing shit, fly playing. But listen, before we get started, one thing I would like to do, you know what I'm saying, is I think wellness check is very important. So I'm just gonna go around, just ask y'all, you know, where y'all at mentally, physically, and spiritually. Go ahead.
What up, y'all? My name's Shauna. Everything is copacetic and high vibrational. We're going towards health goals and prosperity, so everything good on my end.
Yes,
Oh, I
yes.
love that. Okay.
Where we at?
I am Honey, and you know what? I'm just happy to be here. I'm really happy to be here. I'm gonna be around family, be around love, be around positivity, peace. So much crazy stuff in this world. I'm happy to be alive, and I'm happy to be here.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Smooth, and I'm blessed, man. I'm thankful. Every day I wake up, it's a blessing, so I'm blessed.
Well, me, I just came out of an amazing weekend with some friends, and I'm just blessed to have good people. And it was funny, I was telling one of my friends this past weekend, I said, it don't matter who I bring around who, all of my friends have great energy. There's nobody that I've ever had an issue with where they couldn't be around other people that they didn't consider friends yet, but usually they end up being friends by default.
Right.
So, I mean, I just really appreciate the fact that, you know, they're just able to like commingle like that. So, really dope weekend.
Physically, I'm great. Mentally, I'm great. Spiritually, I'm great. Around my family, good, positive energy. I'm feeling good right now. You understand? For real. I'm feeling real good. So, where we at? You know, let me introduce my peoples. Honey and Smooth. These like my little brothers and sisters right here.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
What's up?
Little brothers and sisters. Man, they've been together since they were 14 years old. You know what I'm saying? You know I had.
Are we allowed to ask them how old they are now?
How old are you now?
Let's just say they've been together for 15 years, so y'all do the math. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I first met Smooth, you know what I'm saying? I tried to, you know, check him a little bit. I'm like, what you doing with my little sister, bro?
Walk up with your chest
But, you know
up.
what I'm saying? He's been around for a long time. He held it down because she got a lot of brothers. You know what I'm saying? So So, but he held it down, and I'm glad to call him our brother. You know what I'm saying? So, first question I want to get into is the music. You got a real player vibe to you. You know what I'm saying? Real player vibe. I love it. You know what I'm saying? You pushing player, baby. So, what inspires you to make the type of music you make? Because it's not like, you don't talk about violence, you know what I'm saying, and having sex with a bunch of women. It's like, it's about playing, like prospering, and that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? You talk about where you going in life.
Even talking about chakras, I heard
that.
Yeah,
Caught that one.
Talk about it.
Really, I just, you know, I give that to my inner circle and just our mindset. You know, we constantly talk about success and new businesses and prospering and, you know, just being successful in life, trying to break generational curses and, you know, just bring something new to our family and offer something different. So I try to put that into the music and, you know, you get what you hear.
I love it. I love it, baby.
Do you believe that music can like translate to like how we are as far as beings and operate? Is that why that's important for you?
Definitely, I believe music is one of the most important things we have, like in this world, period. Music can make you, you know, motivated, or it can drive you to do something crazy. So I just feel like music is something that's super important, and you know, you can reach a lot of people with it. So
even with music being vibrational, and there's a lot of things that go into the vibration of us as humans. So with us, you know, learning that you're on a high frequency right now, I hear that you on this no meat thing. How's that working for you?
Well, right now I'm doing the raw fruits and veggies, you know, for a month, and I feel great. I feel the best I ever felt, honestly, and it's changing my mental, which is changing, you know, everything else around me, because I feel like it starts with your diet. So you get a healthy diet, and you get your mind, your body, your soul right, and there's nothing you can't do.
They say the stomach is the first brain, so I got to see that.
I said last week, you know what I'm saying, I don't even stop listening to like rap and R&B music for the year, because like, plus like music is like becoming real suicidal, like dudes talking about dying, all drugs, you know what I'm saying, overdosing, and so that's why I can really vibe to your music, you know what I'm saying, because it's about progress, it's about, you know what I'm saying, living life, you know what I'm saying, so
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
That's like life.
Now speaking of food, I feel like anytime I've done like a significant like detox, did you feel like really tired, or like at some point, cause I feel like when you do detox from all the stuff that we're eating in our foods, like you kind of have this moment of like, oh my God, like it's like almost like it's like withdrawal symptoms, right? Because there's so much sugar and processed stuff. It's literally like not only withdrawal symptoms, but you feel drained, but it's like after you get over that hump, it's like a good drain, because then you receive the fruits of your labor essentially, right? So did you feel like that, like you were in a crash, or?
As far as feeling like I'm about to crash, no, not really, but the cravings. I definitely felt the cravings. I still feel the cravings, but you know, if you got willpower, you can do it.
Yeah.
You can do it. Anytime I get one of them cravings, I just pray. I just pray, honestly.
Okay.
So,
there you go.
And see, with the even with talking about health, and you guys are not only a 15-year successful couple. Ashley, you have been doing some things, and I just have a real question for you, and I'm pretty sure a lot of women may have this question. You guys have been together for a long time, and even with the health journey, you have lost a significant amount of weight yourself, but you have done this with being a wife, being a mother, being a friend, being a daughter. So how do you balance the healthy lifestyle and completing your goals on a health level and still maintain mental sanity and you know, still being able to be a wife and mother?
Ooh, that's a good one. So as of right now today, I'm 67 pounds down. It's been a little over a year. Basically just at home workouts. I haven't been to a gym in a really long time. So I guess if I had to be honest, I'm gonna give that to him, because there was a point in time where I'm like, whatever, I'll be alright. He loved me anyway, we here. But then I would see him working out, and I'd just be sitting there like, dang, somebody should probably be doing that too. Like, you know, you start feeling bad a little bit. So then watching him, it kind of motivated me to want to get up myself. So even if you do a little 20-30 minutes a day, it's something.
Right.
Really a lot of things that helped me was cutting back. I didn't really cut out the things that I like to eat for the most part.
I'm liking that you're saying that.
But I cut back. Cause you don't have to be miserable and just get rid of everything that you love in life. Can't do this, McDonald's, blah blah blah. But if you overindulge, okay, exactly, here drinking. But if you overindulge, of course, you're not gonna see the hard work that you put in on a daily basis just working out.
Right.
So I cut back a little bit. We try to make it fun on your phone. You're gonna spend 20 minutes watching something dumb. Do some crunches. Hit the ground, do some crunches, you good.
My favorite thing about what you just said reminded me of this question. I say it to people, especially to my daughter, and I'll be like, how would you feel if you don't do that afterwards? At the end of the day, you lay down, you rest your head on that pillow. Start asking yourself those real questions in that moment when you don't want to do something and say, if I don't do this, how is it going to make me feel later that I didn't do it? Or, like, even looking at the simple fact of, if I do this, like, let's say you're doing something, maybe it's a bad action, how is it going to make me feel later that I did that thing? And I feel like that's that self-check and self-awareness and accountability that you develop.
It definitely comes down to discipline.
Yeah, all that's good stuff. Definitely. So, I want to talk more about you guys, like, about, y'all both come from a very different background, right? You know what I'm saying? So I want to know, what's your, tell me your background, tell the audience your background, right? Where you come from, and then how y'all met, like, how does this unity come together? Let's start with you, Jordan.
Let's start with me.
Background. Quick background.
From the east side of Detroit, born and raised, the oldest of all my siblings. So for me, I was always held responsible for everybody and for myself. So I kind of grew up a little bit, in an earlier age, and when I was younger, I had to make sure everybody was okay, the household. So that's part. I contribute that to my personality today, the way I am. I got into music kind of early. My dad was always into music, so he kind of showed me the ropes and little things in there. So,
okay.
What else?
I want to hear I seen her in the hallway.
We gonna get to
She
that.
tried to turn me I picked them up.
We gonna get to that. Tell me a little bit about this. Give me a little backstory about you guys.
So for me, just full transparency, I was adopted when I was born into such an amazing family. I'm so grateful to my parents and God for putting me in a situation to where I've never felt like the adopted child. I was never the adopted child. It wasn't no difference between me and all the rest of my cousins. So I'm very, very grateful for that. My parents are very old school, and I feel like they instilled those kind of old school morals and values into me, so I really appreciate that. Felt like I was able to mature, but not to where you feel like a kid grew up too fast, I was able to get that line of maturity of morals and values, so I appreciate that, especially from, like I said, being adopted. You really don't know what you're gonna get. So that's kind of my backstory. I was a West Sider.
So you being an East Sider, you being a West Sider. So how did you put your Mac down, baby? Tell us.
I can't wait for this one.
Tell you how you pulled up on a sis.
Well, it's funny. We met on Facebook. Through some friends, through some mutual friends, actually. And, I just slid in the DMs before sliding in the DMs was a thing. And, I said something terrible, honestly. I know it was.
You remember what it was?
I can't remember. She remembers. But I don't remember word for word.
We always remember. So let's hear it.
Okay, so this is how it really happened. So at the time, I had just moved to Macomb. home. And I'm starting at a new high school. I don't really know anybody. I befriended this girl. He was friends with her through other mutual friends, and he saw me on her Facebook page. He added me, and he sent me a little message. It was real cute, trying to get to know me. And then he was like, "Do you have a man?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Well, maybe I could fill that position then." And here we are. Maybe I could fill that position. Now, mind you, this is a 14, almost 15-year-old boy. Okay, this fool.
14 used to have to be accountable. That's what he said.
Okay.
14 kicking game.
I'm like, yes, you sure can, sir. And so we ended up just talking on house phones. This is 2008, mind you. We on house phones watching Family Guy, this, that, and we
so y'all went through the free nights and weekends?
Yes.
Call me after 7.
Because I was 9 o'clock. I was 9 o'clock, and it was no on that cell phone, okay? And yeah, we never went to the same school. All through high school, we went to 2 totally separate high schools, and we just made long distance work at a young age, and we didn't realize we was doing it, of course, but when we saw each other, it was just so much fun.
So what schools did you guys go to?
I went to Dakota High School.
I went to Avondale.
Oh, okay, I know that. Where's the
Macomb. It's 21 Mile and Card area.
Okay, got it.
So even with making the long distance relationship work, you guys are 15 years in. How did you keep it exciting? How did you keep it lit? How did you keep the bond going? Like, cause it's there, 15 years and going.
I feel like honestly the long distance helps. I feel like it helps to keep the relationship fresh a little bit, and make sure, because sometimes you can get a little burnt out, especially being young.
Right.
You see somebody every day,
Yeah.
and, you get used to somebody and you start looking for that type of feeling from somebody else. But for me, I don't know. I mean, I never really felt the need to look elsewhere for this or for that. I just feel like, we just adapted with the times and grew together.
That's good.
Grew together.
Definitely grew up together. I think exactly that. Having that time apart, it made you so excited for the weekend. It made you so excited for these plans that we made and this, that, and third, and then.
So by default, you're always being intentional. Didn't even know you're being intentional.
Didn't even know.
Yeah.
And then that's what people talk about nowadays about love. That I know it's like on podcasts or like speakers and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna lie, that reminds me. I like dating long distance personally, because then if you gotta catch a flight, you gotta do stuff like that. You have to be intentional.
Yes.
That time is your time with your person.
Yeah.
So that's dope.
I don't know. I feel like it's a limit though. If
I
I gotta catch a flight, I don't know. It make it a little harder.
Because
Because
that's what people do what they want to do. Even if they're in your state, in your city, they're gonna see somebody else, be with somebody else.
True.
They have to naturally have that willpower to be like, that's my woman or that's my man.
Yeah.
But I feel like that happens regardless. I wake up every morning intentional. I'm with my partner 99 days out of 100. So I wake up every morning intentional. So I really think that being intentional and how you want to grow your relationship is definitely what you set forth in your mind every day. Like, you can really be apart from someone and not be intentional. You could be with someone every day and be intentional, but to be intentional for 15 years is dope.
It's I will say this. Relationships, of course, there's work involved, of course, in any capacity, but it shouldn't feel like work,
Correct.
And of course, everything ain't peaches and rainbows all the time for all these years. Nobody's perfect, but when you really have it in your heart, that you want to be with this person, you want to make sure that like this dynamic is doing what it's supposed to do, you're gonna do it. Whether you're doing it or not, it's not gonna be work. You're gonna be happy to do it. You're gonna feel obligated to do it, but not to where it feels like work, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
So, what was your mindset before getting married, right? Like before having children and all of these things. And like, why did you both want to get married?
I'm gonna definitely let her start.
Ooh, okay. So actually, Ava was a slight surprise. We ended up having our daughter before we got married.
Okay.
But she was just the most amazing thing that happened to us. You know, his little twin ponytails.
Shout out to my twin.
Okay. And so, that, it just felt right, you know, having our little girl. We ended up moving in together. The usual things after college. This is after college. The usual. And then we ended up actually falling on what you would call hard times. And the way we stuck together during that time, it really kind of showed both of us like, okay, we are really here for that long haul. Like, we really know that we are each other's person. This is what we gonna do. And then he proposed. It came out of a really kind of dark place, and here came the sunshine, honestly. So, I'll let you go ahead after that.
What was it?
How did you know she was one though? Like, I want to hear from your side.
Well, prior to getting married, you know, I was terrified, honestly, because, you know, being so young, you worry about, you know, maybe I'm doing this too young, what if, you know, this, what if that. But like she said, once I feel like that situation happened with us, and I seen the way she was there for me, and, you know, I can depend on her, I'm like, oh yeah, this, without a doubt in my mind, it was time, you know. I've been knew she was the one, but that solidified it right there, so.
So you felt like she had your back.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, what would you say to like our audience as far as the qualities, and you could just do like top qualities that you felt like you found in her that made you feel like that?
Number one would be loyalty, which I feel like is something that's super rare nowadays. Loyalty, honesty, and I would have to say just her heart. Just overall her heart, just the person that she is, and
That's
the way
so sweet.
the way she show up for everybody and go out her way to make sure everybody, you know, is happy. Like, that for sure was something that, you know, I wanted my children to have and to see from people. So,
Good.
Well, I guess that would tie into the next question that I have for you guys. It's always a saying that iron sharpens iron, and you guys are in business together. What are some things that you learned from one another to have a successful business and upcoming businesses, if I might mention? You know, what are some things that you learn from one another that keeps that so strong?
honestly, we learn everything from each other. Like,
So would it be from each other, or you learn everything together?
we learn everything together, and it's some stuff I don't know that she teach me all the time, and some stuff I might know that she don't know. So, you know, we learn from each other and with each other. It helps to have that partner there that's willing to learn and, you know, open to learning new things, because we definitely still make mistakes. I just feel like that's a part of the process, but overall, it's a good partner to have, because I see the willingness to, you know, learn and grow. So.
Definitely same.
Yeah,
Same.
not being afraid to try, I think is so important, because I think a lot of us, we get stagnant off of like what's convenient and what's safe, and that's within relationships, that's within business, careers, whatever. And so it's great that you guys not only took a chance at each other and trusting each other, but also trusting the process of not only your relationship, but then even like your businesses and stuff like that.
Yes,
So
definitely.
that's good.
Definitely.
Excellent.
So, like, with y'all starting young, man. So y'all was, you know, very young when y'all met, sort of young when y'all first had your daughter, sort of young when y'all got married. What do you feel like are what was the advantages and disadvantages of starting young, as well as what you think is like the differences between the mindset you two have versus your peers who aren't married, don't have children?
Well, I'll start off. Being so young, I would say the disadvantages are just like having a child and being that young. You know, you still want to go out, you still want to do this, and travel and go here and go here. And now you got to be more responsible and figure stuff out that you didn't have to figure out before. Before you could just leave, come back when you want to. You don't got to let nobody know what you're doing, anything. So that definitely was a challenge, like learning to calm down at such a young age just to get stuff done. Advantages, it just teach you how to grow up and be responsible and mature and patience. I say that's the biggest thing with having children.
Powerful.
It's patience. Because I definitely was impatient before. You know, I wanted something right now. Like Amazon is the best thing in the world right now because I was an impatient person my whole life. So
and I feel like with kids, when you gotta leave out the house, it become a whole field trip.
exactly.
It is a whole production. Whole production.
It definitely was a challenge, you know, being young, but it was worth it. I feel like it made us better people. And, you know, the person I am now, honestly, if I would say I would have waited a little bit longer to have children, just being honest, because I'm more mature now and I feel like I could have did things a little bit differently or a little bit smarter, but I don't regret anything.
How many? Two?
Two.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good number. Okay.
Okay, you done?
We are.
Definitely.
Baby. Oh, done.
Hey, it's a new world out there, man. It's hard having 5, 6 kids nowadays. It's
Not
just-
even that. Like our world has changed so much that it's like scary to even send them to school or just basic stuff that's considered basic.
Yeah.
So.
Walking from the bus stop is terrifying dang near, you know?
Everything is just a challenge, so.
Yeah.
But honestly, I feel like it made me a better person.
I agree.
Having a child. And I was used to, you know, I was always the oldest, so I was used to, you know, changing diapers or helping doing this or doing this. So it didn't feel like much.
Crazy because I grew up as an only child. I had never changed a diaper. I had never fed a bottle. I had never babysat, nothing. So for me, I was terrified. I'm like, oh my God, we were 20 at the time. And I can think back in college, our conversation was by 26, 27, we'll start having kids. 20. So I wasn't used to kids. I wasn't used to babies. I didn't know what to expect. But then when she got here, it was like everything clicked. I immediately knew exactly what to do, although I've never done it before, you know?
But no matter what, I feel like you could have another child and for different reasons you would be scared all over again. Like,
Exactly.
you know, my daughter's 17, like this August, so having another child again, it scares me because of the world we live in.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with maybe my abilities, but I mean, obviously resources are different now too because groceries, you get 2 items and it's $20 easily, depending on what it is. So that's a part of it, but I just look at it like it would scare me again, and I'm already a mom. I've been doing that, and it's like I tell people that are like new parents, I'm like, it's okay to be scared, but you figure it out as you go. You make it work, you make it happen. As long as you have that drive, you're gonna be fine. If you're one of those people like you're terrified, you go into cover and you expect somebody to save you, you gotta save your kid. Like nobody's gonna save you guys.
Heck yeah. And then even so, like our daughter, she's 8, but our son is 2. So
they got different versions
that's
of you guys
2
for sure.
whole different age ranges. They got 2 totally different type of parents now. Like she kind of grew up with us a little bit. She got but then now he's getting the more mature, more well versed. We kind of know what to do now. You know, so totally different situation going from here to here. And then he was a pandemic baby, so that in itself was like a whole nother thing.
Another experience.
Yeah, you know, so every single time it's going to be something different. But I would definitely say I agree with his disadvantages, to get back to the question. And like as far as being used to kind of getting up and going, being used to kind of your time is your time, your this is your that. Like you can't
be selfish.
It ain't even no bag of chips that you can have to yourself
when
you have kids. So
I believe it,
but
do they bust in the bathroom when y'all
so he didn't, she didn't, but he's really into that now. There's no privacy.
Y'all be on the toilet, they just bust up.
He just hey.
He won't leave.
He will not leave.
But it's not about age. But that's not even about age. My daughter was still walking on me like, what are we gonna eat? Like,
really?
No.
Yeah, no, my daughter. I mean, but we're like really close. I'm just being honest. Like it's just me and her, so it's a different dynamic.
Yeah.
I think it's different when you got different genders coinciding in the same
You don't
space.
care.
Yeah,
don't
so
care.
that's different.
He
But
do
my
not
daughter,
care.
if she got something to say, clearly she called 3 times last week.
Wow.
So she's just gonna figure out a way to say it. So
Yeah.
you guys did explain to us like how you guys incorporate the workouts, but how do you guys incorporate them maybe in your business, like your kids? Is there anything that they help out with or do or are aware of that kind of contributes to that?
So right at this present moment, so we have separate businesses, and then we actually just put in the paperwork and everything, put the order in, and we're starting a new business together. That should be this summer. So for the music, like she's been to the studio with him to see him record, things like that, kind of see the process. I'm a crafter, so she'll see me making orders for people and asking questions. So she's seen it, not physically done anything yet.
Okay.
But with this business that we're starting now, which is a 360 photo booth overhead, I've already let her know, like, you're of age now, where you can kind of understand this thing, and if we're going to be a family doing this business, then you're going to be helping out as well. So we plan on taking them with us when we can, of course, not to every event, because every event you can't do that. But,
Yeah.
we do plan on taking at least her, because he's still small.
Got it.
At least her, so she can understand the ropes and kind of see what we do, because we want our kids to be proud of us, of course. Kids always think, you know, we got to make our parents proud, but like, what about the kids? You know, they're watching your every move. So if your children are proud of you, then they're gonna grow up and want that same thing for their kids, and then there you go. So definitely want to put them into it now.
Good.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Man, this has been amazing. So last question. In your hook, my favorite part, you say, I had a vision, made goals of it. I love it. So with 30 approaching, I'm not told that.
That's all good.
My bad, honey.
You're not me. I feel ready, baby.
30 is approaching. This y'all last year in y'all 20s. So what is your vision? What is y'all vision? What is y'all goals? What's y'all thought process? You know what I'm saying? Going into this next phase in life for your family, for your business, and yourselves.
Right now, just focus on health and wealth, honestly. I say that's the main priority right now, and everything else will follow. You know, you focus on family, and your mind, your body, your soul, everything else will follow. So that's just my main focus right now. So, I mean, same thing with play, you know, my partner with everything. That's my brother right there. And we sit down all the time, man, just talking about life. Just talking about getting older, trying to do this, and actually doing this. And to see some of the stuff that we talked about just a year ago, and now we have this and this and this, it's amazing. And I know we can get to the next level if we just keep that same mindset. So,
and y'all are doing that at a great time. Like, this is the time where consciousness and music is, you know, evolving, and there's a lot of knowledge in your music that I've heard thus far. So I think that you're definitely doing it in a great time. You know, trying to do it in the beginning of the 2000s, a lot of people have dropped, you know, trying to make conscious music. So I definitely believe that it's divine timing for your music to be coming out.
thank you.
So, honey, what about Lavish Creations? What's the next stage?
So, I kind of want to take a break from Lavish Creation so that it can become better. Basically, I started crafting literally as soon as the pandemic hit. I left my job because I found out I was pregnant, and I left my job because I found out I was pregnant. It was COVID. I was terrified. I'm like, I'm not coming back into this place. And then I started seeing people making like rolling trays on Instagram, Pinterest. TikTok wasn't really a thing yet. And I'm like, okay, I think I can do that. So my husband actually bought me a Cricut machine. And from that point, I just started making crafts for people. And it kind of just grew into this thing where it became a business. It was supposed to just be kind of for fun at the time, pass the time away. But people really gravitated towards it. So shout out to my Lavish Creations. But I feel like now, being 3 years in, it's time for it to elevate. Doing the kind of the same things it's I get my people that come back, but it's not reaching a point where I would like it to reach. So I feel like I'm gonna take a step back from it for now, kind of rebrand, and then have it come back better than ever.
Well, I would definitely want to encourage you to not get discouraged, because I've seen where Lavin's Creations went from crafts to home improvements.
Yes,
Like,
it did.
So I definitely want you to give yourself credit, because you started here.
Yeah.
And now you can tell people, now you're making videos on how to do your cabinets, how to do your bathroom.
Yeah.
So you definitely took it to another level. I understand.
Lavish creation part of the way.
I like it today. Yeah, and I never wanted to go away. And I'm definitely proud of where it's come. Just at this point, I know it can be better.
Right.
So, it'll definitely be here.
Yeah, just
and
a rebrand.
Just rebranding. Like, I want it to be a little bit more mature, a little bit more grown, to kind of fit what's going on with this.
I like that you speak on that, because I think a lot of times when we take a break from something or we stop doing something, it's like it feels damaging, right?
Yeah.
And not every single time when you stop doing something, you pause or you take a break to maybe sometimes it's to regroup yourself mentally and refocus, and that's okay, because this world is ever changing. So in the same essence, like, you have to redirect, regroup at all costs, because everything that's going on. So it's great that you say that, because when you highlight that, you're like letting other entrepreneurs know, hey, it's okay, whether it's rebranding, restructuring, sometimes even starting over and doing something completely different. But that creates the ability to be resilient, because at the end of the day, it's like you can know how to do one thing, but if you know how to do 20 things, you're more valuable. And back then, it used to be like you wanted to be an expert. Like my parents, back in their time, it was more you wanted to be an expert at one thing.
Yes.
And nowadays, our mindset is more, what can I learn within a reasonable time that's not going to exhaust my time, which is now my money, right? And if I can learn that, how equitable is it to me, right? And so the way you're thinking, I'm 100% on board with that, and that's okay. So,
When they say the jack of all trades is the master of none, but the master of many is better than
but
the
they don't
master
never
of
finish.
one.
They don't never finish the sentence.
They never finish.
No.
That's been like going into 2023. That's been one of my things is reestablish, refocus, regroup,
Absolutely.
reinvent yourself. And I feel that I'm on the same way.
Absolutely.
I'm reinventing myself.
Evolving and reinventing.
I feel
You
like
gotta take the place to not burn out. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing with like work out. Like, I'm like fitness. Like sometimes I go hard and I gotta ease up for about a week or two. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm burned out, and then.
Or you might have a certain workout that you do, a certain schedule you have. Now it's time to, step it up, or,
And even with self-evolution, I just want people to understand that reinventing yourself does not mean that you don't know yourself.
Yes.
There's things that you want to add to yourself. So don't feel like you're lost. Just understand you're evolving and you're putting greater attributes into yourself, greater habits into yourself. So it may feel like you're a stranger to yourself in this process, but you know who you are. You just want to be a better person.
And I like what you're saying, because like you're not compromising who you are. You're not compromising your morals.
Yeah.
You just making some change. You
gotta grow. You gotta grow.
I look at people
You gotta
like,
step back to grow sometimes.
Absolutely.
I look at people like, like the Steve Harveys, the hit makers, Young Birds of the world, even somebody like George Clooney. If they would have told him to sell alcohol back when, he was one of the top actors in the world, it probably wouldn't have been the same. But him taking that step back and finding something else, or, to improve his brand, I look at him.
And
even Cosmigo.
Before Kobe died, he was talking about
Exactly.
that. Like, how can I reinvent myself? So then he started writing, getting into books and making movies.
We constantly grow as people.
LeBron's doing the same thing now.
Constantly
We want to do
grow.
it. Yeah. So we're gonna wrap it up, y'all. It's been amazing, good conversation. So before we do that, let's get a quick closing statement for everybody. What you got for Sean before we close out?
Continue to evolve. continue to grow. Don't be afraid of change. A lot of times we stagnate ourselves or we slow down our process because we're afraid to adapt to change. So always be forever evolving, always be available to seek and obtain knowledge. Just always seek health. Health is wealth. So health on a mental level, on a physical level, on a financial level, just always be willing to evolve.
For me, I would say never stop trying. Never stop trying something new. Never stop trying the things that you already do. Never give up on love because it's there. I know we live in a very anti-society. Everybody is just all for self and this, that, but it's nothing you can honestly do in this world without help. Whether that's a partner, whether that's family, whether that's your friend group or whatever it is, you can't do it by yourself. You can't do life by yourself. So always make sure that that you have the right people around you to attain what you're trying to attain in your life, and never stop. Never stop.
Ended on that.
I know, I can't follow up with that one.
You can, you can write up.
But no, for me, I would just say to maintain faith and confidence. I feel like confidence is something that's super important, that's not instilled into a lot of people, especially at an early age, because I feel like you know, if you can raise your child to be the most confident person in the room, there's nothing they can't do. I've seen people with no talent, but the most confidence in the world, and they get further than some people, man. It's about that faith and confidence in yourself, and just keep pushing, you know, towards your goals, your dreams, and just don't give up that faith, and don't lose that light that you had when you were younger, and you had all the hopes in the world, because that's what it truly drives us, that faith and that motivation. So,
I love it.
For me, I think there's a lot of times where we let situations impact us so much that we feel like we're going to stop being ourselves or who we are.
Yeah.
And I would say it's important to keep your identity in this world. If you're a nice person, you have a good heart, you find a better person to give your heart and your kindness to. Whether it's people you interact with career-wise, your intimate relationships, anything. Just be mindful about the space and company you keep when you're doing it.
that's good. That's good.
That's amazing. I'm going to piggyback a little bit off of what Jordan was saying, because I always say faith without works is dead. And the only way you can build that confidence is by work. You got to put in that work. The reason why they're lasting for 15 years, because they were 14 years old, they put in that work. You know what I'm saying? This is why they still, you know, prospering and they building a business together, put in that work. We don't want to put in that work no more these days. Everything is so microwave right now. And we got to learn how to, you know, let things sit in the oven. You know what I'm saying? Let that thing marinate. You feel me?
Speaking of the chicken,
So with that, I'm gonna close out. Our motto is, don't worry about the outcome. Be in love with the process. Have fun along the journey, and whether good or bad, pray to God that you have peace through it all. This is Poetry.Power.People. Love you all. Take care.
Cheers.
P3.
I love it. Yes.